I don't specify any which way that you can factor. So you could always use the quadratic formula. That you could always do, right? Or complete the square, however you want to do it. If you do it by grouping, then you can break that up into any pairs of factors that will add up to a 17. So what's that going to be? Oh, not 1 times 200, not 2 times 100, not 3, not 4 times 50. What about 5? 5 times anything? No. Yes, what? 5 times what is 200? 5 times 40. 6 is divisible by 6? No. By 7? No. By 8? It's divisible by 8. What's 200 divided by 8? Let me just go along here.
25.
It's what?
25.
Thank you. 8 and 25 will give you a 17. Negative 25 and a positive 8. That's how you break it down. You break down the middle term at 8x squared minus plus 8x minus 25x, negative 25. That gives you negative 17, so you didn't change anything. You just wrote it a more convenient way. Now you can group factor. If I group factor this section, I can factor out an 8x. I'm left with x plus 1. If I factor this section, I can factor out a negative 25. I'm left with x plus 1. So that comes out to be 8x minus 25 times x plus 1. That cannot be factored any further. That's what you've got. Any questions? No questions. 6b. B says you have 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. The first thing you do is check and see if it's a special kind. A special kind of trinomial. Well, it is. If you look at the first term, square of 3x. The last term is a perfect square. It's a square of 16. If I multiply these two, you get 12x. Double it, you get the middle term. What you have is a perfect square trinomial. That happens to be that. Oh, by the way, that project for the factoring, those factoring problems, was due before, well, Monday latest. After Monday, I don't take it. I don't want it by UPS, I don't want it by FedEx, I don't want it by Stagecoach, nothing. You got to deliver it by yourself, in class. If it's not there by Monday, don't bother. So that's that. C was this. You had 7x squared plus 10x negative 8. It's not a perfect square trinomial. There's nothing special about it. You can factor by, try factoring by grouping, or you can factor by trial and error. This makes it a little bit simpler because that first term can only be a 7 and x and an x. There are no options. You don't have to break it up into any sets of factors. So given that, it's got to be 7x and it's got to be x. All you're left with is this. So the only way to get a product of 8 is to get a 1 and an 8, or an 8 and a 1, or a 2 and a 4, or a 4 and 2. This you could do in your head, or trial and error. Of course, what you need is the middle term of 7. So if you try an 8 and a 1, common sense says you can't put an 8 over there, because that's going to give you a product of 56 right there. There's no way you'll get a 10 in the middle. I can't put a 1 and an 8 over there because that's going to give me an 8 and a 7, and that's going to give you a 15 or a 1, not a 10. So that takes care of 8 and 1. So you're left with only 4 and 2. Question, do I put the 4 here and the 2 there, or the 2 here and the 4 there? If I put the 2 here and the 4 there, that gives you a 28. That's not good. You'll never get to a 10. So you're stuck with a 4 here and a 2 here. However you learn to use it. Some of you guys use a bunch of squares and you go back and forth and over and out. whatever turns you on.
But you should be able to factor anything right now.
You need a +10, that's gonna give you a +14, so that's gonna be a plus, and that would be a negative.